It's good afternoon, Johan du Toit. Thank you for joining us at Yellow Shelf.
Thank you so much, Joe. It's nice to be here.
Oh, it's great to be here. Your book is out now, When Only Today Matters and Other Stories. Tell us about this book. I know it's a collection of short stories. What do we need to know about this new book of yours?
Okay, so as you mentioned, it's a collection of short fiction, but includes two novella-length stories as well. So one of those is the title story, When Only Today Matters. And believe it or not, it includes a poem that is pretty much based on my childhood in an outback community.
Yes.
Um, I didn't think it would make it into the book, but I worked with Bernadette Foley at Broadcast Books, and Bernadette insisted that the poem should be included in the back of the book. So all the stories were inspired by a picture, believe it or not, the individual stories. So I've been a member of a writers group in Sydney we're going on 17 years, and we average about four stories a year. Sometimes we can get into five or six stories. We sometimes squeeze in a Christmas special, and that makes it five or six for the year. In 2022, we published the first collection of those, or selection of the short stories, working with Bernadette at Broadcast Books. We published Meandering Road. Um, and two of the stories in Meandering Road, uh, I always felt had the potential to be more than just a typical short short piece of fiction. One of those was When Only Today Matters, although in the first book it has a different title. So
Ah,
if there are readers who may connect the two, I'll leave it up to them
yeah.
to find the original story and see how it evolved into a novella, which I've now called When Only Today Matters. Um, so I'll start with what gave me the confidence, if you
Oh,
wish, to
yeah. Yes,
go
please.
to the second book. Um, I was surprised and flattered by the response from sometimes unsolicited from readers to the stories in Meandering Road. And what was fairly consistent in the feedback was that they wanted to learn more about, they were interested in learning more about the characters. Most, a lot of people said, I wonder what happened to so and so next. And anyway, one of those was a character that was inspired by a personal experience at the Wayside Chapel in Sydney on Christmas Day a good number of years ago. I worked there as a volunteer with my family. Um, and that person's journey, as I imagine it, has turned into When Only Today Matters.
Yeah.
Um, at the time, a mutual friend and a renowned scriptwriter actually gave me further encouragement. He just said, "Look, there's so much more
Yeah.
to discover and to learn about the homeless character and what happens to him next beyond the story that was in the first book." Um, so at the time, I was actually a member at the Writers' Room, the Sydney Writers' Room, and we were based in a building near um, sort of Hyde Park, opposite St Mary's Cathedral.
Yeah.
And I just got into the discipline of starting the week with dropping my laptop
Mm.
at the writer's room and then started walking. So I would walk down Elizabeth Street and up through Surrey Hills and down into Darling Hares, Woolloomooloo. And I probably sort of traced the steps that I imagine my Hunter's character um, would, would 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 take most days, just wandering the streets. And that was truly the inspiration behind when only today matters. Um, and yet, some people have now read the second story and say, well, surely there's a novel in that story. I don't think so. I think I
Okay.
think I've done justice to the character. The second novella length story in this book um, is very much based on probably the darkest, for what I recall, the darkest parts of life under the apartheid regime in
Yeah.
South Africa around the mid 70s.
Mm.
And it's linked to an actual event where young children were shot by the police during what was really a peaceful protest. Um, and that evolved into this story, which I've called um, The Shadow of the Flat Top Mountain. And most people who've been to Cape Town would know that that's the famous mountain. So a lot of this plays out in the shadow of that mountain. Um, so that's how I arrived at uh, at this collection, and particularly the two feature stories. It's probably worthwhile, just because there's some other stories, just to read a little bit from the preface of the book, if that's
Yeah,
okay with you,
we want to
Zoe.
keep it less than 10 minutes. So give us a
Yeah,
snap.
how are we going on time?
Oh, just a few more minutes.
2 more minutes. Okay, I'll be very brief. The 8 stories chosen for this collection was shaped my personal journey. While it always started with a picture, the human truth element came from a place of gratitude or a sense that tomorrow may be a better day. And I think that's, for me, there's hope in every one of those stories. So that's probably enough about the book. I can, if you wish, I can tell potential readers or listeners to where to find out more information.
Yeah.
If
And that's the
necessary,
thing.
where
Johan, we want to know what's the
carry
best
on.
way to connect with you? How do we get the book if we're curious about what are inspirational and very powerful short stories in your book? I know you've got a website. Tell us where people should go if they want to know even about your previous book.
Okay, both books are featured in some detail on the website, which is just my first and last name, Johan du Toit, or johandutoit.com.au. One word, Johan, and my last name, one word, .com.au. Uh, Recently, on the website for well, I can't believe it, Australian book lovers. I
Yeah, yeah.
apologise for
No.
the hesitation. They featured the book, and you'd be able to access a purchase opportunity for the book. The books are available both from Booktopia or Amazon
Yep.
in terms of the e-version. Um, and if there are Sydney-based readers who are keen on visits to bookstores, the Harry Hartog store in Mossman,
Yes.
um, where we launched the latest book. They carry both titles. So yeah, that's about it. And that's
Johan,
my
I will put
story.
those links in the show notes so people know how to connect with you and find the book. Um, and I think I would encourage anyone to kind of go to your website, find out more, and just buy the books, really. That's what we need them to do.
Well, thank you. And any feedback, there's an opportunity for feedback on the website. I love engaging with the readers, even if they when they're critical. I appreciate
Yeah.
any feedback.
And can I just say, I love that about your share today that, people gave you feedback and people encouraged you and that kept you going. So that's wonderful as an author. Are you going to write any more? Is there more books down the track, Johan?
I've started a project that may take me forever, but I do have I feel the energy, the
Yeah.
enthusiasm. It's I compared the I've written a synopsis for it,
Yep.
and I also was given the thumbs up by Benedict. Foley at broadcast books. So I'll keep going and see where that takes me over
Yeah.
the next few years.
Keep going because you will have a spot to come on Yellow Shelf to share any future books. But thank you so much for joining us today. Enjoy When Only Today Matters and Other Stories. Johan, lovely to meet you.
Yeah, thank you so much for your time. Take care.